podcast, intro music, fades in, and then fades out. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the English Talk Show. It's great to have you with us. Okay, I'm your host, Mark, and today we're diving into a topic that I think we can all relate to. Something that's become a huge part of our daily lives, especially over the last few years. Working from home. Now, whether you love it or you're not so keen on it, the idea of doing your job from your living room or maybe even a home office if you're lucky has really changed the way we think about work. So, we're going to have a chat about the pros and cons, the good bits and the not so good bits of remote work. And as always, we'll be pulling out some really useful, natural English phrases and expressions that you can use in your own conversations. Ready? Let's get into it. So, let's imagine a typical conversation you might have with a friend or a colleague. Picture this. I bump into my friend, Sarah, at a coffee shop. I haven't seen her in ages, so I'm curious about how she's doing. I might say something like, "Sarah, long time no see. How have you been keeping?" And she might reply, "Mark, I'm good. Thanks. It's been a while, hasn't it? I'm still working from home. You know, it's a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest." Now, a mixed bag. That's a brilliant expression. It means something has both positive and negative aspects. It's not all good, but it's not all bad either. It's a mix. So when Sarah says working from home is a mixed bag, she's telling me she has mixed feelings about it. Try saying that one out loud. It's a mixed bag. Great. So, I'd probably be curious and ask, "Oh, really? What do you mean? I thought you'd be loving it. No commute." And Sarah could say, "Oh, don't get me wrong. The upsides are amazing. I get to save a fortune on travel. And honestly, the Lions are a game changer. I'm not a morning person at all, so rolling out of bed 10 minutes before I have to log on is just bliss." Let's break down some of the language she used there. Firstly, don't get me wrong. This is a fantastic phrase you use when you want to make sure someone doesn't misunderstand you. Sarah is about to say something positive, but she doesn't want me to think she loves everything asterisk about it. She's clarifying her position before she continues. Repeat after me. Don't get me wrong. Next up, she mentioned upsides. An upside is simply a positive aspect, or an advantage of something. The opposite, naturally, is a downside, which is a disadvantage. So, the upsides of working from home for Sarah are saving money and getting more sleep. Then she said she saves a fortune on travel. This is a common exaggeration, a bit of hyperbole. It just means she saves a lot of money. You could say, "That new phone must have cost a fortune," or "I spent a fortune on Christmas presents." It just means a lot of money. And what about lions? A lion is when you stay in bed longer than usual in the morning. A weekend treat for many people. For Sarah, working from home means she can have a lion on a weekday. What a luxury. She also called it a game changer. A game changer is something that completely changes a situation or an activity. So for her, the extra sleep has fundamentally improved her daily life. Let's practice that one. It's a game changer. Finally, she said, getting out of bed before logging on is bliss. Bliss just means perfect happiness or great joy. It's a lovely, strong word to use when something makes you feel wonderful. The feeling of the sun on your face after a long winter could be bliss. That first sip of coffee in the morning. Pure bliss. So, at this point in the conversation, I understand the good parts, but I'd be curious about the other side of the coin. I might say, "I see what you mean. The lions sound incredible, but you said it was a mixed bag. What are the downsides, then?" And this is where Sarah might get a bit more serious. Well, for starters, I'm starting to get a bit of cabin fever. I miss the office banter, just having a laugh with colleagues by the coffee machine. It can get pretty lonely staring at the same four walls all day. Here we have another great idiom. Cabin fever. This is the feeling of being irritable, bored, and restless from being stuck indoors for too long. I think many of us experienced a bit of cabin fever during the lockdowns, didn't we? It's a very descriptive phrase. You can just imagine someone pacing around a small cabin in the woods, desperate to get out. Try repeating it. I'm starting to get cabin fever. She also mentioned office banter. Banter is playful, friendly conversation. It's the teasing and joking you do with people you're comfortable with. It's a huge part of British workplace culture, and it's something that's very difficult to replicate over a video call. Having a laugh, chatting a joke, that's all banter. I'd probably nod in agreement and say, yeah, I can imagine. It's hard to build that same camaraderie over a screen, isn't it? The lines between work and home life must get a bit blurry too. Sarah might sigh and say, you've hit the nail on the head. That's the biggest issue for me. I find it really hard to switch off. I'll be checking my emails late at night, or I'll just quickly finish one more thing. And before I know it, it's 9 p.m. And I haven't really had a proper break all day. It feels like I'm always on the clock. Let's look at the expressions in that part. First, I said, you've hit the nail on the head. This is a brilliant idiom that means you've said something that is exactly right, or you've identified the problem perfectly. It's a very satisfying phrase to use. When someone perfectly articulates something you were thinking. Let's practice it. Repeat after me. You've hit the nail on the head. Then Sarah said it's hard to switch off. This is a phrasal verb we use all the time. It means to stop thinking about work and relax. Just like you switch off a light, you need to be able to switch off your brain from work mode. A lot of people find this is a major downside of working from home. She also mentioned that the lines get blurry. If a line is blurry, it's unclear and difficult to see. So, the blurry lines between work and home life mean that it is hard to see where one ends and the other begins. Your home is your office, and your office is your home. And a final phrase, always on the clock, is a common way to say you feel like you are always officially working, even when you're not supposed to be. You feel the pressure to be available and responsive. The opposite would be off the clock. For example, I can't answer work emails now. I'm off the clock. So, to finish our little imaginary conversation, I might offer some words of encouragement. That sounds tough, Sarah. It's so important to set boundaries. Maybe you could try being really strict about your hours. Like, at 6 p.m., you shut the laptop. And that's it for the day. No more peeking at emails. And she might reply, you're right. Easier said than done, but I need to give it a go. Anyway, it was great to catch up. Mark, we should do this again soon. Definitely, I'd say. Take care of yourself. Notice that last little bit of advice. Easier said than done. This is a classic phrase we use when something sounds like a good idea, but it's actually very difficult to do in practice. It's a way of acknowledging the difficulty of a suggestion. Let's say that one together. Easier said than done. So, there you have it. A simple, everyday conversation about working from home, but packed with natural, useful English. We had a mixed bag. Don't get me wrong. Upsides and downsides. A fortune. Lions. A game changer. Bliss. Cabin fever. Banter. Hit the nail on the head. Switch off. Blurry lines. On the clock. And easier said than done. My challenge for you this week is to try and use one or two of these in your own English conversations. Maybe you can talk to a friend or a language partner about your own work or study situation. Is it a mixed bag? What are the upsides? Do you ever find it hard to switch off? Using these phrases in a real context is the absolute best way to make them a part of your active vocabulary. Don't be afraid to try. Practice them out loud. Get the rhythm right, and you'll sound more natural in no time. That's all we have time for today on the English Talk Show. I really hope you found that useful and maybe even a little bit fun. Remember, learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Every little bit of practice, every new phrase you learn, is another step forward on your journey. So keep going, keep listening, and keep talking. You're doing a fantastic job. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.